It has been a hell of a week. So this week I pre-launched my new SaaS social media application platform thing, Dev CheatSheets. You've probably seen another video about that on my channel up in the corner somewhere. Basically, the purpose of this, and we're going to get a little bit more into this later on, the purpose of this platform is to serve as a social media site and a personal knowledge management platform for developers. I basically found that I was constantly losing all of my favorite resources, things like Stack Overflow articles, blogs, YouTube videos, things like that, and I was having to hunt them down. And this started to become more of a problem as I developed more resources. So anytime I found a new Stack Overflow article, I would either have to save it in a Notion doc or a text document or something like that, and I was just constantly losing them. So basically, as a means of scratching my own itch, solving my own problem, I developed this idea behind a SaaS application. Now, I am using a template called ShipFast, which is a template built by Marc Lou. I'm not going to try to pronounce his full name, he's French. But he created this SaaS template to help people launch SaaS applications faster. So that's one of the things that I was using. I'm going to start, probably tomorrow. I'm going to start a video on kind of like reviewing how all of that works, but that's not what this video is about. This video is more of a marketing devlog zero, kind of how I approach the pre-launch and why I did a pre-launch. So let's talk about it a little bit. The purpose of a pre-launch, at least for me, was to create initial buzz around this platform, to basically create some sort of awareness for people and kind of to capture people's attention around the idea of dev cheat sheets. The approach that I had was create a landing page as quickly as possible, which ShipFast helped a ton with, and to gather people's emails so that I can create a newsletter around this. The first newsletter article is going to go out this Friday, which at the time of writing is like 2 days from now. So the purpose of this kind of pre-launch was not to give a finished or even like an MVP, kind of solution to people. You can't even log into it at the moment. It's just a landing page with a mode of capturing people's emails. But it's a way of starting the discussion and starting to get people's input and get people interested in the platform. That was much more successful than I expected. So let's dive into that a little bit. So right now you're looking at my Fathom analytics dashboard. If you don't know what Fathom is, they're kind of like a privacy respecting analytics platform. I'll have a referral link down in the description. I think I get like some credit for people who sign up for it, but I'm much more interested in people like using the platform because it actually respects people's privacy, which I really like. As you can see, just right off the bat, I got a lot of visitors to my page. I was not really expecting my initial pre-launch to go this well, but 652 visitors with like 66 people signing up for the newsletter was pretty awesome. If you look down here at the refers tab, this is going to tell you where all of these visitors came from. And as you can see, the vast majority of them came from Hacker News. So if we look over here, Hacker News is basically like a link dump site where you can talk about all things tech. It was bought by or developed initially by Y Combinator. It's become kind of like the go-to place to talk about tech news. So, it's a big platform. And they've also got kind of a category called Show Hacker News. Show Hacker News is for people to show off things that they're working on. So it was kind of like the perfect thing. And Marc Lou was also another person who recommended Hacker News as, one of the best platforms to start kind of a pre-launch or a launch of a product. So I kind of just tossed a article up on Hacker News and didn't really expect much of it, especially when I didn't really get all of that much attention in the beginning. As you can see, I only got like 11 upvotes here and a couple of comments. The comments were fairly positive. I mean, most people were kind of talking about, things that they would like to see. One guy decided to tell me that this was off topic. He didn't get much attention on that. But I also got some constructive criticism, people telling me, like, hey, there's not much information up on the landing page, which is totally fair. But this one post brought, let's see, at least 300 people, this direct/unknown. That's probably mostly Hacker News as well. So I got a ton of traffic just from Hacker News. I also put something up on r/saas on Reddit. I was actually kind of shocked that this didn't get removed for self promotion because it seems like everything on Reddit gets removed for self promotion. I just kind of gave up on that as a marketing platform, but it actually worked fairly well. I got a fair, couple of visitors from that. And I was pretty shocked at how well the pre-launch went. People were, pretty receptive to it. A lot of people signed up for the newsletter, and that was pretty awesome. One of the things that I'm trying to combat as a SaaS developer, a new SaaS developer, a indie solo hacker, whatever you call it, um, I'm trying to fight this urge to just sit and code all day. That, for me as a technical founder, is a difficult thing. That's one of the reasons why GrabberApp has not done well, is because I don't do much marketing for it at all. I have never done much marketing for it, and I'm trying to fix that. And I'm following a lot of the advice of a lot of other indie hackers and a lot of other folks who have been here before me in spending as much or even more time doing marketing than I am doing development, and spending much more time doing much more focused development and much more niche development on the features that people are actually requesting and the minimal viable product, essentially, so that when I do release something, I know that it's something that people are actually going to use. So that's kind of been my approach over the last week, is kind of getting my head wrapped around this minimum viable product, getting my head wrapped around, okay, what is the minimum thing that I can release that people are going to find valuable? That's been fairly difficult for me because I've got a billion features that I want to throw up, but I know that if I take that approach, I'm not going to actually release anything because I'm just going to constantly say, oh, well, I just need one more feature, one more feature, one more feature. That's like a trap that tons of people get, wrapped up in. But with this pre-launch going as well as it has, I'm going to be sinking a fair bit of time into getting that minimum viable product up in the next, looking over at my board here, like 2 weeks probably. I'm going to try to make it to where people can sign in, pay, and actually get some use out of the platform, and then start developing features on top of that as paying users actually use it and request features. So that's kind of the quick wrap up of the pre-launch. It again went like way better than I expected, and I'll be talking a lot more about it on YouTube. I'm going to try to do like weekly devlogs to kind of discuss what I've built, how I'm marketing it, things like that, because people actually find that stuff interesting. I actually spend way too much time watching people's devlogs. I find it like super interesting. But yeah, that's about it. There is a link to the blog version of this devlog down in the description, so you can go and look at that and read it over if you prefer blogs. But yeah, that's about it. Take it easy. Peace.